I'm attorney Kelly Longtin, founder of Kelly Longtin Law, where we provide effective estate planning for everyday families. Today, I want to talk to you about the right of occupancy trust, and that's a trust to protect your home and your loved ones. Now, estate planning is about protecting you and your loved ones. Sometimes this can be a difficult endeavor when there's a loved one who may require additional support at your death. And while you may not want to give as much as possible to this individual, you may want to make sure that you still provide for them, but you don't want to do it at the expense of others that you care about. And a right of occupancy trust can help you plan for this situation as it relates to property use and ownership. So what is a right of occupancy trust? A right of occupancy trust allows you to designate a beneficiary to live at your residence or use another piece of real estate for a designated time period or until the beneficiary dies or moves away. To implement this strategy, you include a provision in either your last will and testament or your trust agreement that places the real property into a separate subtrust, overseen by the trustee that you've selected. The terms of this provision may allocate money to the subtrust to cover the property's maintenance expenses. Instructions are also included that outline the beneficiary's rights and responsibilities, as well as any responsibilities that the trustee will need to undertake on the trust's behalf. Finally, the trust instrument directs what happens to the property once the beneficiary passes away. You could choose to keep the property in the trust to be used by another beneficiary or give it outright to a beneficiary. Alternatively, the trustee may sell the property unless doing so might adversely impact either homestead or any other rights, and hold the money in trust for someone's benefit or distribute it outright to a chosen beneficiary. So sometimes selling the property can have adverse impacts on homestead status. So your trustee just wants to make sure that they get legal advice before actually selling the property. Let's talk about what can be addressed with the right of occupancy trust. When implementing this strategy, it's important to think through these questions to ensure that you provide clear guidance as to your wishes. So you want to know is the tangible personal property like your furniture and appliances and all those little knickknacks that you have, is that going to be included with the property? Also, do you want to set aside money for administrative costs? So state and local taxes or any assessments, the utilities, the property insurance and mortgage payments, or will these be the beneficiary's responsibility? Now, if the property includes a residence, does the beneficiary have to live there full time? Can the beneficiary allow someone else, another spouse or a friend or a companion, to live at that property? Or does the beneficiary have the right to stay at the residence for their entire life? Or does some other occurrence have to happen, like getting remarried or being admitted to a long-term care facility? And if these things happen, does that terminate the beneficiary's use? So let's talk about why you should consider a right of occupancy trust. If you have a residence in your sole name, but you want to provide your surviving spouse a place to live without potentially disinheriting your children from a previous relationship, this strategy will enable you to protect all of the parties involved. And if you have property that has been in your family for generations that you want your surviving spouse to be able to use for their lifetime, but you have a compelling desire to ensure that the ultimate ownership is passed to your children in order to keep the family property in the bloodline, a right of occupancy trust can assist you with that goal. If you have a loved one who is dependent on you and you want to ensure that they have a place to live after your passing, a right of occupancy trust can provide that security for your loved one while also protecting the home for the benefit of other loved ones in the future. To ensure that your wishes are carried out, it is important that you get a team involved to anticipate and plan and execute all aspects of your strategy. Now, a financial advisor can sit down with you to evaluate your current financial holdings and discuss the steps that you need to take to ensure that the money is available to maintain the property if you intend for most of the expenses to be covered by the trust. You should also consult with an insurance agent to ensure that your residence is properly insured through all of the different ownerships, yours, the right of occupancy, and the ultimate recipients, whether a remainder beneficiary or whether it's another trust. Your insurance agent can also advise you about life insurance options if you do not have the financial resources or cash assets to provide the funds needed to maintain the residence. Now, a tax advisor should be consulted to discuss important tax implications of a right of occupancy trust and to answer these important questions. And you want to talk about, will your beneficiary be allowed to take any income tax deductions with respect to the property? Will the property qualify for any applicable property tax exemptions that may currently be lowering the property tax bill? Will the property tax be uncapped at any point during the funding or trust administration? Now, we're available to counsel you on the options that you have with respect to how your property is handled and how you want to provide your loved ones, if you live in Massachusetts or New Hampshire. And then once you've decided how to proceed, we can ensure that your wishes are documented in a legally enforceable way, giving you peace of mind that your plan will proceed smoothly at your passing and that your loved ones will be well taken care of. So if you're interested in learning more about a right of occupancy trust or other ways that we can customize an estate plan to protect you and your loved ones, please give us our office a call, and I'll be happy to meet with you. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about right of occupancies and the options you have with that. I'm attorney Kelly Longtin, and I will see you all next time.